Those three had played together a fair amount earlier in the year, and we're confident that they can do that again. Drake had about a 3-game break 3 or 4 weeks ago. Took the fuel tank up a little bit in his own body and mind, had the rest that he needed, and he's been very good since then. And I think putting him back on the power play showed that we had confidence in him, and that helped him as well.
And Letestu, his minutes when he played more of in a checking role, say a little further down the lineup, and plus his special teams play, only added up to say 14. If he plays with those players, would he get even more work, or will he have to cut back some?
Well, I don't know why we're thinking Letestu's going to get a whole bunch more minutes. He's in the same spot he's been in for basically all year. So unless we get 20 minutes of power play or we're shorthanded for 25 minutes a night, I don't see where it's going to get dramatically higher. So he's a key piece, and he plays well when he's in a certain range, and we'll see if we can keep him there.
Todd, if you're the coach of a team with 1,200 playoff games, and to its credit, you use that somehow. You're the coach of a team that's got 342. How do you use that?
Well, I think you're talking about experience, right? We don't have it, so it doesn't matter. We'll play the game. We're not. If you think I'm walking in the locker room and saying, "Hey guys, the experience factor and all that type of stuff," that word hasn't even come up other than from the crowd gathered here. So it doesn't come up in our locker room. It's the only way you get is to play.
Todd, Lucic was talking about that first 5 or 10 minutes and how whether you have experience or not, it can kind of be a little bit jarring, whatever you want to call it. What's the best way for players to maybe push through that wall and get over those initial nerves that might be there for anybody?
I don't know if it's that much nerves as it is excitement. You tend to maybe overplay situations a little bit more than you do once you settle into the game. So we want our guys to be ready and prepared and relaxed, enjoy it. I'm sure, well, I know it'll be extremely noisy here, and it'll be exciting for the players to play, but they have to focus on their jobs and only their jobs, and don't overextend things. But we can talk about it all we want. We go back, and until we play, we're going to learn as we go.
Can you talk about Oscar Klefbom's, just his development from early this season until now, down the stretch, 25 minutes, 24 minutes, even up from his 22.5 average? What have you liked about Klefbom down the stretch that you have using him more?
Well, he's been, I have to answer that question properly, you have to go back to next year and the tough year that he had. I think it was December 10th or 8th or something like that. He was shut down. So he'd gone a long time with an emotional roller coaster. Am I playing? Am I not playing? And by the time the end of the year came, he still wasn't completely healthy. So went into the summer with a mindset of just getting healthy and training and getting ready to go. But when you haven't played down the stretch and you come to training camp, you're still a little rusty. You might be doubting yourself in certain situations. So it took a little while for him to really feel good about everything. And now he's really blossoming and he's confident. We've played him a little bit more because of how he's been playing. He's deserved that ice time, so we're comfortable using him like that.
Did you talk to him about using his shot more, or was that just the evolution of himself?
No, we talked to our back end about shooting a little bit more. Throughout the season was a focal point. I think a lot's generated, and you look at San Jose from the blue line, a lot is generated from the blue line and creating opportunities for the forwards. And it was mentioned, but he took it to heart and obviously leads our team in that area.
Todd, right here, not to flog a dead horse, but regarding experience, I mean, with what we've seen young guys been able to do when they have come into the league and excel, do you expect your young guys to maybe, have the same approach when it comes to the playoffs and playing?
I do. I don't think there's a lot of fear in young players. Takes us back to the World Cup. Standing there at that podium and standing in the middle of the locker room with a bunch of under 24 players, and when you look at that team, the really dominant guys were perhaps under 20, 21, 20, 19. young players don't have a lot of fear. It doesn't matter what team you're on or what situation, they come and play. And I think that's just the way the game is going, the way they've been brought up. We'll expect that from our young players.
Todd, obviously Connor's been targeted all of his hockey life. What do you think awaits him just in this playoffs and what San Jose may try to do with him?
Same thing. No, it's not going to be any different. It's, you talk about experience. He's lived that all the way through. He's played 82 games this year with that target on his back, and the number one pair, the number two pair, secondarily, the top checking line, the secondary line, man-on-man play, shadowing, group effort. He's faced everything he can possibly face. So there's not going to be anything new. He's got to find a way to play through it, and quite often he does that.